What's up, guys? It's your boy Zowoki back with another Chris Watts video. And I've been thinking over the past couple days now about the motive because it still, again, completely does not make sense. I understand that he possibly murdered his family because he wanted to be with Nichol. But why is he protecting Nichol to the fact that he literally has stated he's going to take things to his grave about Nichol? But why? that so that started getting the wheels turning in my head and so forth, and I'm looking at every different aspect. But a child of theirs that they could have made together could have been that complete motive, for this whole annihilation of one family to bring up a new family, because Nichol Kessinger did state that she wanted to give Chris his firstborn son. Now, it's not possible for her to be completely determined that she knows she's going to have a boy. It's a 50-50. You're either going to get a girl or you're going to get a boy. But we don't know if this is a possibility, nor is this a reality, but we're going to look into it just to throw it off as a possible motive or not. So before we go any further, if you guys could do me a solid favor, is subscribe to the YouTube channel by hitting that wiper icon down at the bottom right. Hit the bell icon next to it, so I do post videos like this one. You guys will get that little ring notification that I posted that video, and then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I thank you guys so very much. We're creeping up to 50,000 subscribers, and it's all because of you guys. So keep doing what you guys are doing, and we'll continue to keep growing. With all the love and the views and this so forth, we could easily make it to 100,000 subscribers, so I can give those giveaways to you guys, because at 50, 75, 100, we're going to be doing massive giveaways, and it's all because of giving back to you guys. So with that being said, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of TikTokers that have issued this as well as a possibility. Again, this is for educational purposes only. I am not stating that this is what is true. This is not a fact. It's an opinion. It's not publicized to be factual. So I want to leave that very openly to you guys, that I'm not claiming that this is 100% valid. So, because there's people apparently in there stating that I'm saying that this is true, that's not true. I'm saying this is an open-minded question. Is this motive for Chris to protect Nichol and pretty much keep things to himself, where he will go to the grave with these to protect a son that he may have had with Nichol? Now, we've obviously heard in different interrogations that Nichol was not feeling good during her interviews, that she was throwing up. Her dad stated that she was not feeling good and was throwing up at his house. Morning sickness. I mean, if you think about it, but that brings it down to the 2018, where she was in August of being interrogated and interviewed. So technically, it could be somewhat between what, 2 to 3 weeks before that, maybe a week or 2 weeks. I'm really bad at when it comes to pregnancies and so forth like that, but they would have to have gotten pregnant sometime in July, end of July time frame, which is 2018. So from that time to 9 months from that date would be, so they would have had to have said baby around in March, which he did confess completely 100%, which is, we don't know if it's 100% that he did, because we didn't purposely interrogate Nichol or Kessinger properly. But they would have had to have this child back in August or March, if I'm doing my math right, which I'm probably not doing it right. But there was how many different text messages that he stated that, or she stated to him and he stated to her, that he wanted to start a family with her. She said she wanted to give him his firstborn son. He thought that a child would bring Shanann and her or him back together, which it did not. Because the funny thing is he did a relationship presentation back when he was a little bit thicker, more of a plumper kind of guy. And he literally stated in that interview, or that publicized thing, which we watched yesterday on What's the Obsession, that he was like, it's either you fix it or you get out. Sometimes a child could make things better, could make things worse. So it was definitely ironic that he gave that presentation knowing that not almost within months later, he was going to commit an annihilation of his family. So with that being said, we're going to take a look at the true crime with Bella on TikTok. These are just for validations that I'm not the only one that's coming up with this. Other people have, I'm not coming up with it. I'm just seeing it as a possibility of motive of why he's not coming out with Nichol, why he might be protecting her. Because again, after this was all said and done, she tried to see if she could possibly make any books about this to possibly be paid for her introduction. I still think it's wrong that she completely destroyed a family and she's let loose to start her own families and be happy and live a life of fulfillment. Where Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico don't get that. They were just living their lives, and Shanann was just trying to be a good mom and spouse, and they got taken way too shortly because Chris wanted to start either a new family or wanted to be with Nichol. So with that being said, let's take a look and just add on it at the end. So let's take a look. Okay.
Child of Chris and Nichol Kessinger. There's a lot of rumors out there that they actually do have a son, including a video audio recording of a woman claiming to be Nichol Kessinger's cousin, who spoke out a couple years back saying that Nichol definitely had a child with Chris Watts. And the reason why Nichol Kessinger tried writing Chris Watts after he was arrested was because they wanted child support. Now, how in fact they were going to get child support with him being in prison, I have no idea. But according to what they said, there was some book that was being written, so they thought maybe some of the proceeds from that book were going to go to him, and in that case, they wanted to get some of that money. Now, when they found out that the money was actually not going to be given to him from that book, and court ordered, he cannot receive any profits regarding the case, they basically said they stopped talking to him. But they did mention that Nichol basically had a child with Chris Watts and it was struggling with substance abuse issues. Now, as most of us know, Nichol Kessinger and Chris Watts met at work at the Anadarko Oil Company that Chris basically used as a way of discarding of his family. They met in 2018 in the summertime, and they had a 6-week-long affair. And in that time period, they basically spent almost every day together. And according to Nichol, she also looked up a couple things that were suspicious regarding, contraception, which if you guys want me to go into that, I can make another video. But that is something that I thought was always interesting, is she looked up, when does contraception expire? And this was right before he was arrested. So I'm kind of interested in knowing if she was pregnant at the time, or maybe if she was pregnant and thought maybe the contraception didn't work. But during this period of time, they were spending almost every day together at Nichol's house, and Shanann was with her family in North Carolina. So basically, Chris said that he would go home, take a shower, and then go straight to Nichol's house, and that would be every day of the week. He said that there was very rare times that he would not be with her. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually do have a child together, and that's why Nichol has also been so quiet all these years, because something about it just doesn't make sense. Like, where is she at? Nobody's been able to find her at all, which is very bizarre to me. Oh, could this possibly be the child?
So I don't believe in this whatsoever. Obviously doing Google searches again, I looked into it. Apparently this child was a murdered child named Navier Ager. I'm bad with names again. I apologize. A 2-year-old girl, apparently from New Zealand. So rest in peace to this little one as well. But again, I honestly don't think I don't think they had a child. I mean, we have seen things where she was looking up different things about contraceptives and butt stuff, and it just got completely overdone. But the whole thing that why we do this is obviously we want to interview or interrogate Nichol properly. Is the whole child thing, I'm trying to put this to rest because there are a few channels out there that are stating that this child is being used as a scapegoat to say this is why Chris did what he did. Chris did what he did because, one, he's stupid. 2, he did it for another woman because he liked the feeling he had with Nichol Kessinger. He felt somewhat more in control because Shanann was definitely a very boisterous, very independent, very strong woman that knew what she wanted. She did what she wanted. She tried to do, she was a go-getter kind of woman. Nichol Kessinger was more brought back, more spontaneous in sports and outgoing with that stuff. Now, it seemed that Chris has made up different lies over the time of stating that he was verbally abused and he was not welcomed by Chris and his family, when you've heard it before that Shanann's parents brought him in like a son. Frank was like a brother to Chris Watts. So he keeps reversing it where Cindy and or Chris Watts' family didn't take in Shanann because they didn't get along. They didn't go to their wedding because they didn't get along. They didn't go to Cece's birthday because they didn't get along. It's always the narcissistic side to reverse it and state that it's their problem, the Rustics and Shanann's fault, rather than looking at themselves when it's their fault. Now, we've seen it before that they keep continuously victim blaming Shanann for possibly murdering the kids. Chris has stated before that he tried to murder them twice. He murdered them once in their beds, which was a failed attempt. They woke up after Chris had committed murder of Shanann. Then the girls came out, were asking questions about mommy and so forth like that. They wrote out to Survey 319, unfortunately above their mother. But then we heard in another one that Chris stated that he couldn't even pick her up. Where is this going to start making sense? And then this is why people keep stating, or they keep talking about this case, because there's so many questions that are not answered. It's like, answer these questions and we won't be talking about this case anymore. I've literally stated, if the DA actually talked to Nichol, investigated her properly, found the motive. I mean, we obviously know the motive is Chris wanted to start a new life with Nichol. But why would you kill your beautiful, gorgeous little girls that they loved you so much? They ran to you. They looked up to you. They felt protected. And then a beautiful wife that you destroyed and murdered her because she abusively talked to you? That does not make sense unless this is a completely stupid reason why he's like, yep, the only way to do this is murder. I can't wrap my head around it. And then there's people that are saying, get over it, move on, stop looking into this case. It's done, it's over with. It's like, put yourself in your shoes. If you were the one that got murdered, wouldn't you want this to be found out 100%? Wouldn't you want somebody to dive into this case if it wasn't finished? What if this was your girls that were gone? What if this was your grandbabies that were gone? And I've seen some people that write on my page, they have grandkids and they're telling me to stop. What if they were your grandkids? Would you be okay that Nicole Atkinson infiltrated that family or your family and persuaded the spouse or the husband to murder your grandbabies? And you're going to sit there and tell me, it's done, it's over with. Cindy Watts doesn't really show any care that her grandbabies are gone. She's more so far up Chris Watts' butt and wanting to bring him back home and find out that he's innocent when there is no way in God's green earth that man is innocent. If he didn't kill the children, which we have speculated, it's not 100% certainty for educational purposes, but we think that there is somebody else that has been involved, NK. But even on that, he murdered Shanann, he murdered an unborn child. Those two murders themselves is 3 counts. 2 counts of murder and 1 count of an unlawful term of pregnancy. The 2 other daughters, that is first-degree murder for both of them. And for killing a child under 10. There's apparently another one that they could have added on to that, but they didn't. apparently Watts in prison is a janitor. He's saving up to hire another attorney to re-investigate his claims because he says he doesn't feel that he was rightfully talked to about the case, that he was lured into certain aspects, like saying that Shanann killed the girls, and then he stated that Shanann killed the girls, and then he retracted that. And it's like, you can never believe this man. Yeah, hook him up to a lie detector. Take that and ask him questions about NK. The man's not going anywhere. And are you going to risk his rights? No. Say that we're going to have a interrogation. We're going to talk to you briefly. We want to ask you some questions, just finalize everything, and then ask him about Nichol Kessinger. That can't be wrong to do. And the reason why I do what I do is because I see that this case, I have a feel. Like, I don't know what it is. I have a feeling in my heart and soul that this is not done. I've never met them before in my life. I have never, like, there's other cases that I could be looking at. Thousands of other cases. There's cases that are more popular than this one. Yes, this is a very popular case. Don't get me wrong. But there are other ones. And people tell me to look at them, which I will eventually. But I am so invested in this because I know Nichol Kessinger was involved. I can't say for 100% certainty. It's my opinions, my voice, which is my right to state. There are millions, if thousands, or hundreds, thousands, and if not millions of people that think the same thing. And even looking at our, what's it called? Our petition that Pamela Thompson created. I'll even post it up here for you guys to take a look at, just to see how far we've come, or how we're almost at 3,000 right here. If I pop it up here for you guys to take a look at, almost 3,000 signatures. There are other ones. If you type in right here, Nichol Kessinger, there is more. Investigate Nichol Kessinger. 12,000 supporters. Started in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Almost 7,000. Investigate Nichol Kessinger. Made in the Philippines. Get Nichol Kessinger another interview with prosecutors. 5,000 almost. Boycott all publications by Cindy Watts and Nichol Kessinger. Cindy Watts has made a book. I don't think it's profitable because it's on Amazon's Kindle for free. This one's almost 2,000. Interview Chris Watts' mistress, Nichol Kessinger. 732. Pamela Thompson, the one that I've talked with. 3,000. Nichol Kessinger is guilty and is in jail, or needs to be in jail. 300, almost 300. Frederick Police Department, release Chris Watts. Oh, this one's a bad one. This one is wanting. Frederick Police Department, release Chris Watts' mistress, Nichol. Oh, this is the interview. Okay. I was like, they better not be asking to release Chris Watts. Protect witness Nichol Kessinger did not testify. Immunity should be off the table. I don't think she had. I honestly don't think she has immunity. She doesn't. I've looked at it, and everything that I found out, she's not has immunity. Another one. Make sure this isn't profit for Watts' murder. So, like, when it comes to Nichol Kessinger, Jamie Lynn Williams, other people that Cindy Watts, Ronnie Watts, they're trying to make money off of this murder. They try to get the insurance money. That all should have went to the Ruseks. The daughter and the grandbabies are what those people were murdered. It should not go to Cindy Watts. It should not go to Ronnie Watts or Chris Watts. The murder happened and it goes to the next of kin, which is the Ruseks. More. Urge Weld County DA Michael Rook to investigate Nichol. If you're looking at this, Walmart should not keep Christopher Watts a voice. Say what? But in all of this, we're looking at roughly 30, maybe 40,000 supporters in this case in different petitions. And that's just the people that probably don't even know or what know to sign this. If you look at the YouTube channels that are out there, we've seen them. Millions of people watch these. Millions of people write and comment that she needs to be interrogated. But then you got D.A. Rourke saying on his wife's podcast, we're not going to look at her. There's no evidence. You grabbed evidence, but you didn't even look at it. You put it away. You signed it. You sealed it in a box because you had Chris Watts. You decided not to look into Nichol because you got your man, and you were you were in the time of an election year, so you want to make it look good that you got him, got it taken care of, finished, not went to trial, completed it all within days instead of weeks. Do you see where I'm coming up with this? And then you have those people that said, get over it, move on, you're wasting your time, you're hurting the family. I am in no way, shape, or form intending to cause any pain or problems or any issues with the Rusek family. I support them 100%. All I want is Nichol Kessinger to be interrogated properly. She was involved some shape or form. I'm not asking anything, I'm not saying anything bad about Shanann or the girls or Nico or the Rusek's family. I respectfully talk about them every time. So again, leaving this to rest, again, I don't feel that they had a baby together. Did she probably have a baby eventually in the future? Probably. There's rumors and speculations that she had a child with a younger man and lives an hour away from said location. There's other people have stated that she has moved to a different state. I mean, but until we actually finally say, hey, wake the hell up, let's go take a look at this and actually investigate it properly, but nothing's going to happen until we either get a new DA or somebody with the balls to finally look into this. She's not in the witness protection program. The only way she's gone is she's gone by herself. She's protecting herself, or her daddy is, because he's a Freemason. It just bugs me so much that people are so against and wanting to find the truth. Or people just want to come on the channel and just sit there and, you know what, grow up, get a life. What are you doing with yours? All I have to say is, what would you do in this case? What would you do in this situation? If it was your grandbabies, your children, would you fight for them or would you just let it go? Because I have 3 lovely, beautiful children, and 2 of them are not blood related to me, but I love them more than anything. One of them I'm going to adopt eventually. I call them my children. And I would never do anything to hurt them like Chris did. And that's what bugs me the most, is a father is meant to protect, love, care for, and pass on his traditions with his children, especially his unborn son. He should have. That unborn son could have carried on the family name. So, again, please leave your comments down below. Again, we have no inclination, is that even a word, that Nichol had a baby. But do we even care that she had a baby? The motive was Chris wanted to murder his family for NK. NK. There was, I can guarantee there's no child that Chris had. That's just my partake. That's just my thoughts, inquiries, educational purposes, reasons why I made this video. I look at everything when it comes to this video. The spiritual, the criminal, the different theories that are out there, respectfully. So, again, thank you guys for watching. Please take care, be safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next video.